Welcome to part 3 of our Idiot's Guide to FFG Star Wars RPG. A lot has changed since part 1 all those years ago. You should check out that video first, by the way. The biggest change being the arrival of 2 new types of sourcebook, one of which, the Compendium sourcebooks, what we're talking today. The Compendium sourcebooks are what the fans have been clamoring for forever. You see, the general idea with the sourcebooks for this game up until this point apparently is to provide the potluck dinner experience. You buy, let's say, a career source book for your soldier character for the extra talent trees and signature abilities, but it also comes with some cool blasters, armor, and explorer gear that your bounty hunter or scout type party members might also want to take a look at. There's also vehicles and encounter or campaign ideas your GM could use to add more to your RPGing. So each book could have a bit of something for everyone, as opposed to, here's the gear book that's just a list of gear and nothing else. Here's a vehicle book, here's an adversary book, and so on. Which is what these are, and these are what most people have wanted. I don't mind the potluck expansion style. I feel like I'm contributing to the group while helping myself, but really, to be honest, it only works well if you're just starting out and only have a small, very small collection of books at your table. Otherwise, everything just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. You have no idea where any particular item or vehicle or whatever is. Really, for most tables, it's probably just better to start with these from the beginning. So the 3 compendium books are Gadgets and Gear, Starships and Speeders, and Allies and Adversaries. Gadgets and Gear kind of stands out from the other 2 in 2 big ways. Okay, one not so big, in that lots of the equipment entries have no pictures. It's really forgivable considering how many there are, but when you get to the other books and see nearly every single ship or vehicle or NPC, they get their own art, so the GM and players know exactly what's being described and talked about and interacted with. Yeah, that's just really nice. I suppose it's not as important with the individual gear, though. I mean, no one at the table really cares how your knapsack looks exactly, but the big difference that really matters are the lack of bonus content. Nearly every single vehicle and NPC in the other 2 books have help with turning this into content for your campaign. There's a 1 or 2 paragraphs on how to use the vehicle/NPC in your campaign, like, for example, how popular a particular vehicle type is with certain peoples or in certain sectors of space, or the personality of a particular NPC, how they typically interact with the world, where they go, what they do, as well as 2 or more ideas for encounters, like specific encounters that can incorporate that vehicle or NPC. And of course, a lot of this is fairly interchangeable. An encounter idea for one bounty hunter or mercenary type character could easily be used for another. Same for different types of cargo freighters and so on. This makes these books really valuable to a GM, especially one who's starving for content. The Allies and Adversaries also have playable species choices for players, including Jawas, Ewoks, Tusken Raiders, and Lasat. In general, there's not much to say about the books. They have subsections for different types of whatever they're selling, with most all the types you'd want represented, though not every piece of gear or starship will be in here, of course. But it's still probably more than most tables need. The biggest exception being the Clone Wars stuff. If you want a lot of Clone Wars stuff, check out my recent video on the Era source books. That's where you're going to find all of the good Clone Wars stuff. And if it seems like these books might be right for you, check out my individual reviews on them. Right, bye.